Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check.
We changed the order. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9.
Mic check 1 2 3 1 2 3. Testing mic test 1.
Now on WTOL 11 News at 11. We've worked all weekend to get you the latest details on a kidnapping plot involving 6 Toledoans. Tonight we know where the victim was allegedly assaulted. As Toledoans get ready for their Monday morning commute, we asked ODOT if a major stretch of interstate would be open to the public.
Women and girls that come through our door, we help them with their support to elevate their quality of life.
And we hear about the impact that a local organization is making on the lives of young women and how it's helping keep them on the right path forward in their future. Welcome into WTOL 11 News at 11. I'm Michael Sandlin. Thank you so much for joining us. Our top stories all weekend: the 475-75 interstate shutdown and a kidnapping plot involving 6 Toledoans. And there are new details in both stories. Here's a recap of the kidnapping plot with information we received today from the city of Maumee. On Saturday morning, one by one, 6 different Toledoans were booked into the Lucas County Jail by 2 different agencies for the same kidnapping plot. According to court records, father and son Aaron Bradshaw and Austin Bradshaw, husband and wife Michael and Martina Escueda, David Cessna, and Chance Johnston have all been charged with kidnapping. Additionally, the Escuetas and Johnston have been charged with felonious assault and Cessna for domestic violence. A representative with the city of Maumee tells us the 6 of them abducted a young man and held him in 2 places. The first is here at the Red Roof Inn in Maumee. The other is a currently undisclosed location in Toledo. Documents show during the victim's time in captivity, he was beaten with a baseball bat, sleep-deprived, and starved. He was also found with bruises covering his body. The 6 suspects are set to be in court on Monday, but there is still lots of information that needs to be answered. If you can help Toledo Police or Maumee Police with a lead, call Crime Stoppers at 419-255-1111. An update today from ODOT. The section of 75 and 475 that was closed for most of the weekend is now reopened. ODOT says it took so long because contractors removed the damaged beam. It's an intricate process that went according to plan. ODOT's construction engineer Kyle Rudell explains why officials felt they needed to close the interstate in the first place.
The biggest reason is the amount of traffic that I-75 handles. We just can't dump that volume onto a city street. Whether that be Detroit Avenue, Anthony Wayne Trail, that amount of traffic getting dumped onto city streets would put a stranglehold on the city of Toledo.
Again, traffic is set to go back to normal tomorrow morning with no anticipated disruptions because of this construction. 2 shootings happened in Toledo on Sunday, the most recent in central Toledo just before 10 tonight. Toledo police say 1 male was shot at the intersection of Collingwood and Central. Police say the person was injured while inside a minivan. You can see it right there at the intersection. He was taken to the hospital. His condition is unknown at this hour. The first shooting this afternoon in East Toledo. It happened earlier today on Nevada Street. The victim was believed to have been shot once inside a residence, and police have not arrested the person responsible. But they do encourage our viewers to call Crime Stoppers with any information. Now turning over to our forecast, another chilly weekend is almost in the books. Meteorologist John Birchfield joins us with more. John, any chance of a spring warm-up in our forecast?
Oh, Michael, going to take a little bit of patience to get those warmer temperatures. By next weekend, we're at least going to be close to 60 degrees. So not
like
super
that.
warm, but at least a little bit milder for those final days of March. We do have some spring showers, though, on Doppler radar, although we are starting to see less green, and that means the rain is clearing out just before midnight. Showers are now pushing off into eastern Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York, although there are still a few lingering sprinkles across the metro. Most of those showers have now cleared to the east of Lucas County or now over Lake Erie, although in lower Michigan across parts of Lenawee County, there is still some rain coming down, including for the city of Adrian. There is a cold front sweeping through, and that cold front essentially right overhead, and it's going to bring us some gusty winds as we head into the start of the work week. That cold front moves through tonight, and it is going to be downright breezy for your Monday with winds that may gust up to 40 miles per hour. Windy weather conditions are going to be likely with 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts and a much colder west wind. I'll show you when we finally warm up and a look ahead towards Mud Hens opening day coming up in just a bit. Michael?
All right, we'll see you then, John. New tonight, Clyde police had to put down a raccoon this weekend because it had rabies, but that's not the hook to this story. According to police, a person was shooting these darts at the raccoon. Now, if you look closely, you can see blood on that dart. Police say if you know who the darts belong to or who would have used them, call their department at the number on your screen. A driver last night crashed into a mosque on Nebraska and Brown in central Toledo near the foundation. According to Toledo Fire, the driver fled the scene, leaving the white SUV partially wedged into the wall of the mosque. Officials called area hospitals to see if the driver sought medical help. However, no one checked in. Officials say the building is now stable, but it's unclear how much damage there truly is. The Women of Toledo, an organization that helps young women with their career development, is working to make an impact on the lives of hundreds in the city. Dominique O'Neill joined us in studio with more. Dominique, one of the mentors you spoke to says they help women develop work skills and build social empowerment. How exactly do they do that?
Well, Michael, organizers tell me they help train young girls in the area to be young adults, giving them job training and help them with their self-esteem, working to grow them into pillars of the community.
So I'm so blessed and grateful that we do have a community that helps us support.
That's Nina Corder. She's using her more than 2 decades of experience as a mentor in Toledo to help guide and direct today's young girls. It's all part of our organization, Women of Toledo, a group that helps out on average about 900 women and girls alike across Toledo.
I am here because a woman that side beside me in the past have paved the way for me to be here. So then it's important for me to pay it forward and help our young women in our community to find their way.
Corder says the Women of Toledo's primary goal is to teach young women ages 12 to 17 to find their voice and build an identity. Doing so with simple projects like building a chair by having them use tools and encourage critical thinking. It's setting them up on a path for a prosperous future.
It's all about history, paving the way for the next generation.
Corder says through mentorship, young women like 12-year-old Lucy Harvick are set on a good path for future success.
It is by far one of the greatest organizations I've ever come across, and I can't wait to be able to do even more when I get older.
Why is it so important for us, the women leader in our community, to pour and give their time, talent, treasure, and influence to our next generation? Because they are the next leader.
Harvick says none of this could exist without the leadership of Corder.
I have met a lot of women, but again, Nina is just amazing. She is such a great role model and example. I couldn't think of a better mentor.
But for Corder, it's not about the recognition, it's about inspiring the next generation.
I feel it's important that I give back and help all the other young women in the community. You can't be what you can't see. Because I am here, because I see those mentors very successful in our community.
And Nina says the organization remains committed to expanding its outreach and providing a platform for women to support and uplift one another. Reporting in studio, Dominique O'Neill, WTOL 11.
All right, thanks, Dom. CBS News has learned that the U.S. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz is headed to Greenland. President Trump has brought Greenland into the spotlight by repeatedly saying he wants to take control of the world's largest island for security reasons. CBS News correspondent Chanel Call reports.
During his first and second administrations, President Trump has said time and again that he wants the U.S. to take control of Greenland.
We need Greenland because of national security, international security, world peace. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
In a new development, President Trump's National Security Council advisor Mike Waltz is traveling to Greenland. Greenland is an autonomous territory owned by Denmark. Both of their prime ministers say Greenland is not for sale.
Waltz, meanwhile, says the U.S. is making progress against Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen.
We've taken out key Houthi leadership, including their head missileer. We've hit their headquarters. We've hit communications nodes, weapons factories, and even some of their over-the-water drone production facilities just in the last couple of days.
The Houthis have recently renewed firing missiles at Israel and continue efforts to disrupt trade in the Red Sea. There are new signals that Columbia University's efforts to satisfy demands from the Trump administration could restore federal funding for the school.
I believe that they are on the right track so that we can now move forward.
This month, the administration revoked $400 million in research grants and other money over how Columbia handled campus protests against Israel that began after Hamas's October 7, 2023 terror attack. Chanel Call, CBS News, New York.
There are two recalls happening right now impacting Target stores. The first impacting people with nut allergies. The store is recalling Favorite Day Gourmet New York-style cheesecake due to mislabeling. These people could have undeclared pecans. This impacts only stores in California, Florida, Iowa, Texas, and here in Ohio. Then another recall at Target for green beans. Del Monte Foods is recalling nearly 200,000 cans of Target's Good and Gather cut green beans. The Food and Drug Administration says the product may be contaminated with a foreign object. The recalled cans were distributed in 21 states, including Ohio and Michigan. Coming up, the Pope hasn't been seen in public in the last 5 weeks. That is until today. A full report up next, including on his health.
And first the rain, next the wind. Gusts may exceed 40 miles an hour at times tomorrow. I'll show you when we finally warm up, coming up next. Well, a cold wind is going to impact your Monday plans, and it's really not going to feel like spring at all tomorrow. As a cold front sweeps through the area, we could see gusts up to 40 miles per hour to start off the work week. It is going to contribute to a feels like or wind chill down in the 20s. I know we don't like talking about wind chill this time of year, but late March still can be chilly. That cold front knocking on our doorstep and sweeping in the imminent minute as we look at that cold front that is now over northwest Ohio. Still bringing a few light and scattered rain showers, but it's really that wind that is going to be the bigger story. The last of the rain currently situated up in Lenawee County and also now pushing over Lake Erie, with the Toledo metro slowly drying out. Temperatures are actually in the 40s right now, so we have briefly warmed up, but it is going to cool off tomorrow as the winds kick up. You'll notice westerly winds already developing in Williams and Defiance counties. You can see those arrows show you the wind direction, but the winds are coming in from the south-southwest to the east of I-75. That's the cold front that is essentially situated right along I-75 and is going to be sliding to the east overnight tonight. Let's talk the hour-by-hour timeline as that front slides through the area. We could see a little bit of sunshine to start off the day tomorrow, but it is going to be a cold and breezy setting. As we head into the afternoon hours, an isolated sprinkle or flurry may be possible. The bigger story, though, is the strong and gusty wind. A brief rain or snow shower, but little to no impact expected. Let's break down the hour-by-hour timeline of those wind gusts. Starting off the day for the bus stop and the morning commute, already over 30 miles an hour. Into the afternoon, gusts of 40 are possible. Winds blowing in from the west in the wake of that strong late March front. Temperatures are going to make it up into the low 40s, colder than average, but it's going to feel more like the 20s to 30s thanks to that wind. It'll be sustained at 20 to 25 and gusting to 40 miles per hour, especially during the afternoon. And those wind chills are going to dip down to the upper 20s at daybreak, near the freezing mark heading towards the afternoon. And then once again, Monday night into Tuesday, we're going to see wind chills drop back into the 20s. The winds are going to turn calmer Tuesday and Wednesday. And if you're thinking that Maumee River walleye run forecast, temperatures at least going to be closer to 50 degrees. As of this weekend, water levels have been very low on the Maumee at 580 feet, although there is expected to be a slight rise over the next 48 hours due to the rain, and temperatures have been fairly stagnant at 40 degrees, and it's going to take a little bit of time with temperatures remaining cool in the air. Looking at partly cloudy skies Tuesday, sunshine and a calmer breeze for your Wednesday. That'll be a nice outdoor day. And Thursday, we finally warm things up into the 50s. Overall, the 10-day forecast is likely to be slightly cooler than average for the final days of March. And looking at that Mud Hens opening day forecast, a scattered shower or two possible, temperatures in the 50s. Next weekend does bring us highs back close to 60 degrees, but overall, no major warmth as we head into the start of April. Michael?
All right, thanks, John. After an extended hospital stay fighting a lung infection, Pope Francis was cleared to return home. CBS News has more.
From the balcony of Rome's Gemelli Hospital, it was a long-awaited hello. A sigh of relief after what became the longest hospital stay in his papacy could very well have ended in goodbye.
A tutti. E vedo.
Thank you to everyone, the Pope said with a frail voice, and found time to compliment a woman with yellow flowers.
Well, it's a remarkable moment, one that many feared would never come. But after more than 5 weeks in the hospital and narrowly escaping death, Pope Francis is finally on his way home.
The Pope made his hard-won exit in a trademark low-key papal white Fiat, waving from the window. We could see nasal tubes for the oxygen therapy he continues to receive, a reminder that he may be out of the hospital, but not out of the woods. His doctors say he'll still need 2 months to recover back at the Vatican, meaning no mingling with large crowds, a big ask for a man known as the People's Pope. For weeks, the faithful gathered every night in St. Peter's Square to pray the rosary. Among them were these nuns from Poland and Kenya.
You know, it's a wonderful moment. It's very moving, very moving.
It's a moment we didn't know if we would ever see.
It seems that God listens to the prayers of the whole church.
Today, both his voice and his body reflected the toll of double pneumonia. But his spirit, his doctors said, remains unscathed. After one of his darkest moments, Francis joked, "I'm still alive." That's when we knew he was well.
Chris Livesay, CBS News, Rome.
Coming up, it's a scam that targets the elderly with the possibility that a loved one is in danger. We'll tell you about the grandparent scam coming up. Welcome back in. There's a scam going around. It's called the grandparent scam, a scam that preys on a person's deepest fears, a loved one in danger. Our sister station KHOU in Houston has this report.
It started with a chilling phone call. For 59-year-old Mrs. Kai, the emotions were instant.
Even after I understood it was a scam, it was very scary.
Take us back to Tuesday afternoon.
I get a telephone call from a woman crying.
Then she says a man took over the call.
He says, "I'm a police officer and your daughter's been in an accident."
No agency name, no crash location. Mrs. Kai says he instead asked for her daughter's information, allegedly to get her into an ambulance.
Everything about it did not ring right. It just felt wrong.
So she checked her daughter's location, called her from another phone, and got the answer she had prayed for. Her daughter was home, safe.
And so then I picked up my phone and I said, "This is a scam. My daughter's fine." And they just hung up.
The call ended, but the fear lingered.
Even though I knew she was okay, we got off the phone. My hands were just shaking.
Mrs. Kai says she usually ignores unknown numbers, but since she was out of town and saw a Houston area code, she answered. But when we tried calling the same number,
"The number you are trying to reach is no longer in service."
She's now sharing her story to warn others.
I just think people need to know about the scam, and if you know about it, you're less likely to fall for it.
This woman did exactly what we hope people will do, is that to independently verify that their loved one is okay.
FBI Houston spokesperson Christina Garza says it's called the grandparent scam.
It's unfortunately very common. Anyone can be a victim.
She says scammers often impersonate a loved one in crisis.
So fear and urgency is really what this scam is about.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't want to help a loved one in distress?
She says scammers ask for personal details, demand payment, and keep information vague. And now with AI in the mix, she says it's getting harder to tell what's real. But there are solutions to the problem that will help keep your money safe from scammers. Stay calm, ask questions, and confirm your family members are okay. And if something feels off, just hang up. In Houston, Michelle Choi, KHOU 11 News.
All right, back in the 419, we have a lot of things coming up this week. The Ottawa County Veterans Service Office is offering free gift cards to thank local veterans for their service. That's happening tomorrow. Veterans can pick up the gift cards from tomorrow until Friday between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. at their office on State Route 163. Gift cards are available on a first-come, first-served basis. Also tomorrow, the Lucas County Children's Services wants to hear from you. There's a community conversation and listening session. The goal is to give people the chance to connect with LCCS and community resources. And looking ahead into the week, the biggest sports day of the year for the city of Toledo are Toledo Mud Hens with opening day. For events, tickets, parking, and more, visit our website at WTOL.com. Now here's sports reporter Chase Bachman with a preview on what we'll be covering.
Hey guys, this is Chase Bachman with your Sunday Sports Look Ahead. This Friday, we've got one of the biggest party days of the year in Toledo, Mud Hens opening day. The team will open the 2025 season at Fifth Third Field against the Columbus Clippers. First pitch is scheduled for just after 4 o'clock, but WTOL 11 will be there all day long, getting you ready for the big game. Be sure to follow WTOL 11 all week long for our coverage leading up to opening day. That's your look ahead to this week in sports.
Welcome back in. The Lowrider Cafe, a popular Mexican restaurant right here in downtown Toledo, is looking into offering a different kind of service. This morning marked the first of many church services to come. The pastor says the goal is to welcome all with open arms. Laura Sandlin went to the service and has the story.
Lord is upon my heart, I will dance like David.
For years,